Okay. Welcome to another episode of official Naija FPL. This will be different from. Do you guys want to finish that? From Bunda Blue. I mean that works though. It's the month already, so we can be excited, right? And we've just been through a very good transfer window. We've missed you guys. We've honestly missed you guys. It was an interesting January. And then we'll be here talking about how the transfer window went, what teams we thought did well in the transfer window. We'll talk a little about FPL. We'll just touch different things, right? And we promise to make this episode really interesting. So we have the usual suspects here. We're going to start with Abinibi himself.
Yes, so Abinibi FC, Mr. Bond, happy to be here.
Salvi, after like 2 weeks hiatus or 1 month hiatus. Glad to be live with you guys again.
I'm actually an unusual suspect, but happy to be back here in the studio.
What's your team name? Tell us.
FC.
Correct.
Easy FC, right?
That's what it is.
Okay, so welcome all of you. You guys notice that Salvi is always proud these days.
No, let's leave him now.
He's looking like it's easy, but it's fine. Easy. I hope.
Well, I think he's benefiting from.
Okay.
He's benefiting from the absence of some of us competitively taking part in this FPL this season. But I mean, right on.
I mean, so we're half season, right?
Yeah.
And
Salvi is the Arsenal of.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Arsenal of the. So a couple of people have done well in half season, and I hope that all of you are ready for the next half of the season. Because if you didn't do well in the first half, you need to be overtaking people in the second half, right?
Yeah.
And that brings us to talk about the things that happen in the transfer market. How do you guys see this transfer window? Easy, let me hear you.
Well, I'll be very, very honest. I didn't follow too many of the other clubs aside, Arsenal, probably the bully guy trying to always hijack our deals. But I mean, on the surface of it, I think it was a good transfer window for the Premier League as a whole. But specifically, I think I'm happy with what Arsenal did, the business we did. We didn't get all our desired targets, but I think what we settled for are good enough.
Be careful. I'm happy that Salvi is between both of you. Oscar just jump you.
Well, I mean, I just have to say as I see it, but I know the Prof himself will have valid reasons for differing with me, but I think it's good business and it should take us to the finish line.
Thank you. Bond, Abinibi.
I agree with what he said when it comes to this. I mean, I agree with what he did when it comes to Arsenal. I think Arsenal did good business this season or this transfer window. However, there are certain other teams like Chelsea and everything.
I was coming to Chelsea. I want to ask you, So, a particular team, a good team called Chelsea, what they spent in the transfer market was more than what all the teams in the 5 big leagues spent together.
And it's January. Right? Now, the thing about it is, everyone's saying there's a loophole, right? Yes. Now, we all can understand the loophole they're playing, but my point is, even in that loophole, there's a reason why a lot of these, they're not the smartest people in the world. The reason why this risk wasn't taken by a lot of teams. We amortized the Pepe deal. So it's not something that people have not just knew about. The problem now you now look at is, okay, you do a whole lot of it now, which is what we were talking about earlier. We do a whole lot of it now, or you let's assume you're in Chelsea and you make that expenditure now. What happens if some of the key players in which you're expecting to come good don't? You're going to have to sell a lot of the players you have at the moment. You're going to have to bank on these young kids to come through. Well, they did it with Havertz, Ziyech, Timo Werner. Those guys were the best of that generation. And fuck it, what came out of it?
So you're not thinking in the space that they are buying 21-year-olds, 22-year-olds. They are spreading the fees over 7-8 years. So I mean, they are beating.
Well,
FFP.
how would they bought? They bought.
They bought good players.
I'm saying Havertz was a good player when they bought him, and they bought him young. Timo Werner was a good player when they bought him, one of the best in Europe at the time, and they bought him young. Ziyech was a good player in Ajax, right? Okay, Ziyech was a bit older, right? But the truth about it is, all these players now at a good age to be sold and are not commanding good money.
So you think
it's possible?
Lightning will strike twice on the same spot?
I'm just saying. Look, if it's happened before, right? And I mean, in business, it can happen again. So I'm not breaking it wrong. I'm just saying you're gambling this amount because you're expecting not to, but you're going to have to pay for this thing for 7 years.
Yeah.
So if you're going to have to make an reinvestment because some of these guys didn't work, then it becomes a different conversation because you already have an outlay of maybe 100 million every year to pay. That's my own point of view, you know.
Makes sense. Sabi, I was going to come to you with one question, but before I come to you with that question, I first want to ask, so the question I was going to come to you was more FPL.
Okay.
But before I come to you with it, I first want to ask, like, Easy, you and Bond.
Yeah.
Like, quickly, just run us through in 1 minute, 3 teams you think had a very good transfer window and why?
Okay, well, obviously Chelsea, they're the winners of this transfer window
bots.
worldwide. They signed everything.
But there's a but.
Yeah, but they signed everything walking on the streets. That's the football boots. But I mean, truly,
I had a joke before you finish. You know when Arsenal was going to buy jogging, I heard that Boli was about to put more money on it.
Forgetting it's his player.
No, but
Arsenal is going for jogging, we should buy that guy.
I can see the guy's vision long term. Like Bond said, it could backfire, but again, what if it works? He's an American, they gamble. He's done it with that sports club and his sports clubs, so he knows what he's doing. But so apart from Chelsea, I know Oscar will agree with me again. Arsenal they have. So our prime targets, Arsenal's prime targets, Mudryk and the other guy from Brighton, they didn't really work out. But
okay, let me re-ask the question because that's the question I wanted to ask you. But I want you to talk more about it and then I want to hear other people's views. So we can easily say Chelsea had like the best transfer window, right?
Yes,
but I want us to talk about the 3 best teams in this transfer window as it regards FPL.
Okay, FPL.
As it will affect FPL.
Chelsea's players are not really, apart from Mudryk and Enzo, the rest may not really start for this season. So
we don't even know where
and
to commit.
this guy, after the red card,
Enzo be regarded
Felix.
an FPL player.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
What position does Enzo
So
play?
he plays more midfield, CM.
Defensive midfielder. I don't think it's not something. Yeah.
But I'm looking at Mudryk. Is on my watch list. I'm giving one more game week before I bring him in. I think for 7.0, the guy's £7 million is still quite cheap. And I've seen his flashes. I think I play. You do well. You've been a good asset. Once Chelsea can start scoring again. So the issue is that they're not scoring right now. So you may do all those runs down the line, all the dribbles, but where's the end product? So that's what I'm still watching.
Team aware now.
How to do. But for Arsenal,
I don't think Arsenal is in this equation, but I want you to talk. The reason I don't think it's in this equation because we're talking regarding FPL, and the players that Arsenal bought are not
really starters. Well, truly.
Yeah, I don't think you say that in players. Trossard,
So-
the thing about
can actually become a regular.
Yeah, someone told me something.
Trossard?
See,
Martinelli has been.
It's just Martinelli injury and Trossard going to start.
Yeah.
Then Jorginho, we look at him like he'll be on the bench. I think Arteta likes the guy. I think he's someone that's been watching for a while. He may start games eventually.
Yeah, especially when you want to rest party.
Games eventually.
You want to rest party. You might have Europa games. You might have. So it depends.
But for
Jorginho's
that
bought
teams-
for Europa.
Yeah, but for that team, we look at Newcastle. There's Gordon from Everton, exciting young talent. I think at some point we'll start games for £45 million.
Would he bench
Start
Amiron?
from the bat.
But we'll play more from the left or central midfield. He's very versatile, so he's not limited. Which other club will have exciting players?
To be honest, I don't know.
Then for Liverpool, so this Gakpo guy, there's a lot of noise about him. He had a good World Cup, he had a good season last year with PSV, but so far his partnership is kind of that's followed him a bit.
I think the team Liverpool.
The team too is not in form.
When was the last time you had a player from the Dutch league come to the Premier League and take it by storm? I mean, viewers, you can also look at this question as well. It will be good for you guys to comment and all of that. Let's remember Dutch players because personally, I
It's
don't
not even
think
Dutch players that came from the Dutch league.
that came from the Dutch league. I don't think the best league to buy into the Premier League is the Dutch league.
How about this guy, the butcher of Amsterdam? What's his name again? Lisandro Martinez. He's not a bad FPL asset.
I mean, sure starts over him when it's important. Even in central
So
defense.
for the World Cup now, I mean, it was resting and everything, but I think, but when he plays, he's solid.
I mean,
can only
he's not
think of
played. He's
one
not played a lot of
more
games.
than-
Yeah.
I mean,
They've not really had any.
Isn't it funny that
It's
you rather a Shaw as a centre back than Martinez? Have you thought about it?
But before the World Cup, was starting almost all the games.
Yeah, and I don't want to say almost, but that's the thing now. They've rotated a lot in that defense. In Man U, they've rotated Mucho up and down. So really, Martinez is not playing. When you're getting him, you rather get Shaw because you know that they're probably going to rotate him from one way to the other. He's not Malaga is not as good as him. So, do you get?
Or if you not play Maguire.
So there's Gakpo, there's Anthony. Anthony's. There's a joke again that says that Anthony's right leg is just for standing. It's like a walking stick.
No doubt.
You heard?
Oh dear.
All right, guys, let's not get carried away. Yeah, we can talk about the transfer market all day. Trust me, a lot of things happened, but we'll be right back. We're going for a break, and we'll come back with more interesting things. Yeah, guys, we're back. Official Naija FPL, Africa's largest FPL group. Watch out for us, all right? Follow us and continue to make us grow because we're growing very fast. Now, watch out for the handles. It's on your screen. Follow us on Twitter, on Instagram. Follow us everywhere and then join our FPL group. The code is also there, all right? Yeah. We can't wait to have you. The best players in Africa are on this group, yeah? If you come top 10,
without a doubt,
then you're the real deal, all right?
Without
a doubt, yeah?
No doubt.
So the best of us here is on our left. And then the guy on our left. And then the guy on our right.
I'm higher than this one. Well,
I mean, how can you be proud of being higher than an inactive player?
I'm for there.
I said like
It's like Southampton.
I'm not impressed.
Well. Neither is the rest of the public.
All right. So on FPL notes, we have two teams that will be going the double this game week. Yeah. And that will be Manchester United and Leeds. We'll talk about Leeds, but Manchester United more interesting because they are a team in form and they are playing both games at home, right? So I want to hear from you guys. I'll start from Salvi. And what I want to hear you talk about is this the game where you want to have your captain choice? Is this the team where you want to triple up on the players, and what players are you tripling up on? And I would like to hear the other views as well.
Okay, all right. So the risk is that in like 3 games, game week rather, Man U will be blank. They'll go blank.
Game 25.
So if you have
called the finals
one more player now, if you have 3 Man U players, there's a risk of how to move them on. But guess what? I have 3. I had Shaw and Rashford, which almost everybody has, and I brought in Fernandes.
I knew.
Was there the risk of Shaw being injured?
Yeah, no. I think he played day for yesterday, or is it yesterday? Played yesterday, so yeah, it's fine. I played 90 minutes, so I'm very okay with that. A lot of people are going to captain Rashford, but I'm leaning towards Bruno. I mean, that's why I'm on top of all these guys.
Should we take your word for it?
No, I'm leaning towards. I didn't say. I'm leaning towards.
That's why I do, because he does mafia moves.
Yeah, I mean that's what it is. So for me, I'm going to take. I'll triple up on Man U, and I hope for the best. Yeah.
Easy. What do you think? What do you think about tripling up on Man U players?
Are you going to your triple captain?
I guess if I have to choose a player for Manchester to captain, I'm not going to do that in the coming game week. And I hardly change my captain.
Permanent Haaland.
I'm on Haaland right now as we speak.
Permanent
It'll
Haaland.
probably be Rashford. I think he has shown enough great talent, to be selected as a captain from Manchester United. On the strength of his performances in the recent games, he's bullish. So if I were to choose anybody from Manchester United, it has to be Rashford for a double game week.
I agree with him completely. I mean, I even think this is Bruno that he's talking about is mind games. I don't even think. I swear to God, I don't even think.
No, he's fond of that.
I think Savi is trying to swap us and the rest of FPL public, because quite frankly, I mean, you Bruno, what is his? He's been playing all right, and he's scoring, but not compared to Rashford. You can't even. So how do you want to?
But you can't gamble that you keep having that streak.
You can't, but you know that everything good.
That Bruno will as well.
Exactly.
That's what we're gambling.
So there's a higher probability.
Trick question: Are you tripling up on Man U? Are you tripling up on Man U? Man U players.
So no, I have 2 at the moment, and like you said, they're gonna have a blank soon. They've played a game ahead of everybody. So they're going to have a blank soon. So tripping off, I have 2 of them, and I'm going to keep the 2 of them because I can put them on my bench when that time comes.
So you're not going to get a third one?
No, I'm not going to get a third one.
Okay. You're not going to get a third one. Okay, so I'm going to ask one more question on Leeds. Are you doubling on Leeds, or do you have any
Now,
Leeds
right
player?
now, I don't have any Leeds player. And my problem with having, like saying, doubling or bringing all this kind of thing is how to move them around when you need to. I mean, if I was going to bring a Leeds player, it would be, of course, one would probably be Harrison or Rodrigo. You know, I mean, they've been leaking goals. I can't see anybody else that you go for,
defense.
you know, in defense-wise.
But the guy is back. Bamford.
Well, and he hasn't kicked off. So
He's done some assists, some goals.
so really, to be Harrison has been the, you know,
I'm worried that Bamford may affect
Harrison's
Rodrigo's
goals.
influence. No, even Rodrigo's influence in terms of goal scoring.
You know,
Because it's
you know,
quite
one of
fun.
the things I remember when earlier on in the season when we were talking, and I said Rodrigo would have more influence because Rafinha was gone.
I didn't agree with you. Yeah.
Exactly, and he did have influence, and even had more influence because
10
Bamford
goals, right?
was gone.
10 goals and some
Exactly.
assists,
He's done well.
So I also still believe that he's still, you know, he and Harrison are the creative spark in that team. I mean, they can't think of anybody else that will give them, and the team is not doing that badly, to be fair, personally. That's a good question.
Yeah.
I think
Who's,
Palace also.
Yeah. So, trick question is going to go to Salvador right now. Yeah. And I'm waiting for a trick question. And we're going to do this because we try to help people on fantasy. And that's the reason why we do this show.
Okay.
In recent weeks, a lot of people have tripled up on Newcastle, especially like doubled up on Newcastle defenders, and probably have like a Newcastle midfielder in Almiron. Some people have let Almiron go. How many Newcastle players do you have in your team?
So I had one. I had just what's his name again? Trippier that everybody has. But now I have 2. I brought one in yesterday. I dumped Cancelo and I brought him.
So as a fantasy,
Dan Bond.
as a fantasy pro,
So why didn't you go for
You decided-
Squad? What's his name?
What's his name?
the reason why I asked that question, right? Because you just brought in a Newcastle player, and a lot of people are going to
No,
fall for the
very
trap
soon.
of having 3 Newcastle players and 3 Man U players, right? And both teams are going to blank in game week 25, right? So is it a time to choose your team wisely from now up until game week 25? Because you don't have the chance to make.
But you can't, because it's one. Well, I understand you because it's one blank, but you have to think about the points. But I'll let him continue.
So for me, I don't want to play catch up. So I'm not
Exactly.
I'm not even going to say.
So it's the points now. I'm thinking
blank.
about.
So as the game weeks go by, like next game week now, I may not do a transfer. So I have 1 free. I may not do the next 2 and I have 2 free transfers. So I can do like do one next game. So in any way, I'll take like 4 points hits.
So that's
I'll
the
be
same
fine.
thing for me now. I mean, is that simply? I'm using my work card at the moment. So I am setting my team up in a way that, okay, you know what? Like you said, next week I shouldn't be needing to take a transfer because I've set my team up for about 2 weeks, right? Then when that time comes, I have 2, and then I can put some on the bench and then play around. Do you get whatever? Okay. Instead, I don't even plan to take a -4. I think I should be able to plan it.
So easy. We're just saying all of this and discussing with our people as well, so that they have it in their heads that if they leave 6 players to game week 25, it will be a big problem because you can only put 3 players on the bench, right? But that being said, easy. The best or the game of the game week will be City Spurs. I think City is away and Spurs is at home. So Spurs City. Yeah. Right? And we're almost deciding that our captains are not coming from there, but it seems your captain is coming from there.
Most definitely.
And Spurs City just played a few days ago, if I'm right? Right? And City came back. Spurs had 2 goals in the first half, and City came back to blow them 4 goals in the second half. And the 4 goals happened in minutes. Yeah. Right?
Scary.
What's your take on that match?
I guess it's gonna be a deja vu for Spurs. I mean, it's it is what it is.
You can't trust Spurs, innit?
City is a much better team, in my opinion. They both have good coaches. I must say, Spurs, they have a good team, but not just good enough. City will take the day.
Do you agree? Will you agree with me if I play the devil's advocate and I say, as regards FPL, Spurs had a good transfer window? Because they brought in Poro. Poro should be a starter, right?
Left back, right back.
Right back, okay. Right? And he's a very good player. and Danjuma is also there. Scored a goal on his debut already, right? So, do you think that
seems to be coming back?
Yes, and so do you think like some of these things, because the only problem Spurs has had all season has actually been like organizing their defense, right? Do you think like some of these things might affect, especially the fact that they're playing at home this time, might affect?
Let me repeat, and I want to say this emphatically. Nothing is going to change. These two additions, they're not going to move the dial. City is a better team now, tomorrow, end of season.
It's the best team in the world.
So, I mean, the same way these teams are beefing up, I mean, City keeps getting better. I mean, it's like old wine. So
another hat-trick for Haaland.
I mean, would I say no to that?
How many more hat-tricks do you think he will have before the end of the season?
At least 2.
So that's an interesting thing, because see, with teams like Tottenham, he's shown that he likes to score. With big teams, he loves to show up. He will get a penalty. You know, usually games like that, there's a penalty in it. You know, and then he would give the crosses, all those kind of things. He will show up. So if Haaland gives a hat-trick in this game, and you captain Rashford, you're hoping that his collective goals matches his Haaland's hat-trick.
You're making me worried now. So you know what happened there? So now I'm saying it here. I captain with Bruno.
I hope you're
I'm saying it here.
Man of your words.
Please, he's saying it to the camera. Remember, we say your captain is Bruno.
Because
from
what is analyzed now, Alan may perform, and a lot of people will 80% gone. Rashford. I want to be different.
This might just
different
be
from
different
but just so that it could
from
also be
Haaland
the
Blue.
Rashi Blue. Right? Okay, so we're good.
There's something I want to throw out, to the audience. And a double game week, you have your free hits. Would you advise having 3 players from Man U, 3 players from Leeds? Do you think there's any advantage to that?
100.
You still have your free hit.
100. If it's a free hit, 100. I would advise that you have 6 players from both teams. No defenders from Leeds, right? So you have a Rodrigo, you have a Bamford because he's back.
Who are the 2 teams that are playing? I know that Man U have good fixtures, but Leeds.
Sure.
I'm not sure about Leeds fixtures, so they might go there and get 2 trashings. And
that'd be one good game before the Man U game.
They're playing Man U.
I'm trying to check for it. Yeah. You see, we all just got stuck with Man U playing Crystal Palace.
Forest. It's Forest.
They're playing Forest. But they're playing Forest away.
But Forest, they've been stubborn.
They've been stubborn.
But is it because
Leeds is up for the
so my point is, because if you look at the Leeds game, right, you're going to concede it for Man U. So me, I would suggest, and I would suggest to anybody, because you're looking at it like you say, if you have a free hit here, what the hell, right? But if you look at it, because part of those 2 teams are playing themselves, right? And if you're going to lean to Man U winning Leeds, then you should be tripling the Man U players, and then maybe Leeds, looking for 1 or 2 attackers in the Leeds game that can balance you up.
5 players.
At least 5 players.
So,
I think will be the safest.
Go to the next segment. What do you guys think about Martinelli of us now? Do you think it's time to move him on?
He's gone. He's left my team.
No. I mean,
on the team.
Yeah, on the team.
He's left my team. So
I will bring in Saka.
I brought him Odegaard.
So I checked FPL stats, right, and I realized that Martinelli is top 5 in most transferred out.
Yeah.
Right, most transferred in for this game week has 3 Man U players. Yeah. It has Shaw, Bruno, and Rashford. So don't think what you did was special.
You just had to do that.
Oh boy!
In Rashford, right? And so that's it. And Martinelli has not had a good game week in a few game weeks. So I want to advise it. Before we go on a break, right? I just need 3 of you, your choices on 1 or 2 cheap differentials for this FPL week. Cheap differentials.
Let me start. I bought him in last game week. Mitoma, I bought him in and he delivered. I don't think the guy's in the form of his life. 5 million pounds.
He took. I was going to say, if you don't say Mitoma, you have to go to Sonny March.
Yes, March.
Those are the cheap. Those are the guys. To me, I can't, because if you look at the teams that are scoring and doing all right at the moment, Brighton is scoring. You know, then of course that's the only way you're going to get cheap differentials anyway. Is to go for a cheap team.
Any other person in your mind? What do you think about Tony
Eddie.
Southampton?
How about Eddie?
Tony.
Yeah.
I mean Tony. I'm not sure. Well, Southampton always has goals in them, you know, but I don't know, man.
Talking about Eddie, right? What do you think about Arsenal playing away to Everton, having Eddie? Because Nketiah also was one of the top 5 transferred ins for this game week, and us going to meet a good gaffer and a new gaffer and playing Everton at home. What do you think Arsenal's performance will be on the day and Eddie's performance will be on the day?
So I feel if we don't score a goal in the first 20 minutes, it's going to be a long day for us. Sean Dyche is negative. I mean, doesn't attack. So and the team is not doing very well. So to you just come and play negative tactics.
The way I look at it is a lot of people have come and done negative to us. It might even play to our team.
But guess what? Look at this season, the way it has gone. If we don't score early or in the first half, the game may just play.
Yeah, but we also score a lot of goals in the first half of the second. The first 20 minutes of the second half.
But we score a goal in the first half also.
No. I'm saying, but sometimes if you also look at this thing, we also score a lot of goals in the first. We blitz teams in the first 20 minutes and then rest. Yeah. So I agree with you, right? Those two blitzes that we do in the first two half matters. I personally brought in 3 Arsenal. I took out all my Arsenal defenders and have 3 Arsenal attacking assets. Oh. I know that they have a game in hand. And so I have Nketiah, Odegaard, and Saka. Wow. So that's what I'm going for.
You had all guns.
Bold. Okay, guys. We're going to go on another break. We'll be right back. I hope you're enjoying this, all right? Alright, guys, we're right back. And we're going to round up with like an argument that has been hitting the streets, has been on Twitter, has been everywhere. And I want to get you guys' opinions on this argument. Please make comments in the comment section on our social media handles, all right? It's always on the screen. You can always see it. Join us. Make us one big family. Okay, and so the discussion is going to be in the EPL this season, without even mentioning names, we can mention 3 top DMs in the EPL this season. I want you people to discuss and tell me who you think is number 1, number 2, number 3, why. I'm sure the names will be the same on everybody's mouth. Yeah? And all. I'm going to start with Bond on this.
How is it me starting? Savi start. Savi have your
Savi has been starting. Yeah, you start. Savi has been starting. No, Savi, let Bond start. Bond wants to hear your view. Then he will now take up your view.
No, I'm not taking up his view. I just want to hear. So personally, DM. I would. Now, most people I've been saying on Twitter, I've seen everybody say Casemiro. Right? They will say that Casemiro is the number 1 DM and the thing. I would personally not give Casemiro. Yes, because of what he's done for the Man U team is incredible and he's a great DM. But I'll give the DM, just for the way he's playing the system that which is asking, I'll give it to Partey. I give the best DM in the Premier League right now is Partey. Now, normally I would have given Rodrigo. I think Rodrigo is the best DM that has been in the Premier League for a while. But because you said presently now, I think Rodrigo's form this season has dipped, and I think that's why City's form has dipped. You know, for a lot of teams, and what I mean by his form has dipped, City were one of the best defenses in the Premier League. They are not this season. So, and I think that's what I mean by their form, especially their form in defense. And I think Rodrigo was important in organizing that defense. I don't know what's going on now, so I think that's why I put it down. So if I was to put it 1, 2, 3, it would be those 3. I'll go Partey right now because the team plays incredibly every time he plays, and they're playing incredible football, and he makes that DM role look simple, like it's not. He makes it look elegant. Casemiro, for what he's done for the team, and shit, man, he's played some incredible ball, and he's probably more attacking than the 3 of all 3, scored goals. And then Rodri. That's my analysis.
If you're going to come after him, that's Abinibi. You'll find him, right?
Yes. Bond. Come true.
You're going to come after him because I'm sure a lot of you don't agree with him.
Yes. So.
Easy. Do you agree with him?
Yeah. Well, 2 of the names: Partey number 1 for me, Casemiro number 2 for me. I don't think I have a third best really. For me, most other DMs have, performed. The ones that performed, creditably well have done so, but not at the level
of
of having some outward or different kind of recognition. Yeah, you're being paid for it anyway.
I hope they're not going to term us the bias FPL show though.
bias in what sense? I mean, the facts are there.
The facts
anyway,
you just look at the team.
I think my lineup is different.
Okay.
Pecking order is different for me. So I'll start number 1, Rodri. Over the years, it's been great.
No, we said this is.
No, hold on.
Okay.
I said that as well.
He had a fantastic first half of the season.
Fantastic.
Yeah, he did.
I won't say so.
So second half of the season is if you look at the gameplay of Man City, they've not played any consistent defensive line all through and leaking goals. But guess what? He's doing more than he's doing before, and he's doing very well. He's holding that midfield together, and I believe Rodri a lot. So I'll do Rodri first. I'll do a Partey in second because of where Arsenal is and his influence in that team. No Partey, Arsenal, basically. So, Casemiro.
Party after party.
Casemiro in third, but I've seen him lose balls. I've seen him make mistakes that lead to goals, twice. And that's for a DM. That's careless.
I've seen Partey.
So, but
I've seen Partey make mistakes to lead to goals as well.
Rashford, I agree. But what he does is he comes and he scores. And so the goals. So what's happening now is that Casemiro is actually it's
assisting
official, but it's assisting and it's scoring. So that's why people make that. You add that to his game and it's okay. Yeah, he's great in midfield, but I think it's still third to me. If I have to pull one person, I'll go for this guy Holberg in Tottenham. The guy can play for 3 hours.
Oh yeah, he has a good injury. I don't know. I don't think he's fantastic.
You look at the work rate. The team is maybe but his work rate every game he gives 100%.
I don't think. I used to. In banking or in financial sector, we always say you don't reward results. You only reward. You don't reward efforts. Just results. You can have the highest run rate if it's not translating into points, goals, assists, victories like Partey. Like Casemiro, then you're just doing your job for being paid.
I heard when Salvi said hold the midfield, and I remember one Nigerian coach that was asked. They asked him, "So what did you tell the boys at halftime that made them come out to do so well?" And he said, "Yes, I told Okocha to hold the midfield." To hold the midfield, like he said, it like the midfield was like a property that was tangible that you hold. You understand? But good enough. I think Nigeria came back and did well in that match because Okocha held the midfield.
Literally held the midfield, right?
And there was one other. Nigerian coaches make me laugh. There was another one that they asked, "What did you tell the boys? What did you tell the boys at halftime?" Blah blah blah. Because they always ask those questions. And the guy said, "I told them to play football." I told them to play football.
They were playing basketball before.
11 was 11.
I think you have to pardon some of these coaches. It's colloquial English. We all know what they mean by play football.
Have you gone to watch them? Oh God.
Hold the midfield.
Hold on.
Move.
But to settle that argument, I can't settle it because it's still on.
Let's say your own.
I can't settle it because it's still on, right? I don't know if you guys accept data, right?
Okay.
And what the stats say is, even as at this season, Rodri is still up there when it comes to tackles, when it comes to interceptions, when it comes to Partey is up there when it comes to through balls, but Partey has not created any goal chance this season. Rodri has created a couple of goal chances when it comes to aerial balls and everything. Rodri still stands there, yeah? And then maybe Casemiro comes a close second and then Partey third, right? And that's what the stats say. But again, stats you can define stats the way you want to define stats. Partey will probably not have the best defensive stats when you compare him to these people because, Arsenal does not get attacked. If you know what I mean.
What
Arsenal
he's
is the
doing
least
is different,
attacked amongst the three teams and all of that. So it depends. Partey is topmost when it comes to through balls, which in some way he's the pass before the pass and all of that, and he's helped. So you're good to your interpretation. Nobody's wrong if you choose this over that, but you would only be wrong if you don't think that these three are the best 3 DMs in the league. Yeah, I still want to get your comments. I still want to get your feedback.
I'm correct.
We want to be. We want to be. And then finally, we're leaving. But I just want predictions on. We've seen how everything has gone, right? And these are the things that we'll take till the end of the season, right? So as the season stands right now, let's close shop by doing this. And I'm going to start with easy on this. Now we're entering the second half of the season. Who is your top 4?
Top 4?
Yeah.
Arsenal, Man City, Man U. That 4th is really up for grabs in my opinion. But I mean, I think Newcastle then Man U. That's my top 4.
Oh, Newcastle 3rd?
Arsenal, Man City, Newcastle, and
Man U barely get there 4th, right?
Just because, just because.
I think for once I'll almost be arguing with easy. And again, there'll be a similar consensus on this table, or this show about who will be first.
Actually, no. I think Man City will be first.
Wow.
I think Man City will be
Traitor,
first.
you see that?
It's not about traitor. It's not about.
Yeah. I'm being realistic.
So I just look at it. I believe that they have a run going. The scariest team. I know we're not going to talk about this, but I think that scariest game was the game against Tottenham.
Spurs, yeah.
They switched off at halftime with a different team, and since then they have played to a level that they have not played before. So they have a run coming now. Except that run breaks, Now I still say Arsenal has a stumble coming. We have had a run. I still have a stumble going. So it's now where the stumble comes and who it will be against. So I still think Man City. It's only 8 points. How many points is it right now? 5 points, but
that's not the game in hand.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying with the game in your hand. So, and it's against Man City anyway.
Yeah.
So, So I just think Man City, Arsenal, then Newcastle and Man U. I'm not sure which of them, but that's where I'll go. Okay,
so what's interesting, and this is where we leave you, is that nobody thinks anybody will creep into the top 4. From the people outside the top 4 right now.
No, who's creeping?
They're actually creeping now.
They're creeping. They're backsliding.
Liverpool and Chelsea. They're going.
They're doing electric slide backwards.
They're moonwalking.
I actually think there'll be one shock, and that will be the end of the season.
Sure.
On our next episode,
wait. You can't just end it like that.
Okay.
No. What's your own? Okay, you want me something with it?
Okay. Because I think I should balance it, right?
No, you should balance. You see why I want to go there? I'm waiting for this.
Okay, so I honestly think Arsenal will come first, right? I think Man City will come second. It will be crazy not to think Man City is top 2 or Arsenal is top 2, right? I know that Man U is going to come 3rd.
Yeah.
I do not see Newcastle holding 4th till the end of the season, right? And I think Conte will do it over Newcastle on 4th.
Fuck Conte, man.
Yeah.
Interesting. Let's see how it goes.
I think the window will help Spurs. Yeah. Okay, guys. So we're leaving. Don't switch off. Next episode, look out for us because we're going to talk about the most interesting thing in the EPL. And you know what that will be? The relegation battle. Have you seen what 13th to 20th looks like?
Crazy,
if you want to get our views, if you want to know what Bond, Salvi, and Easy think, tune in next episode. To this, wish you good luck. FPL Game Week 22.